Hello, fellow trophy hunters and platinum enjoyers. This time, we're going to do 100% DLC playthrough of Cult of the Lamb, Sins of the Flesh. So, this update is mostly just more Cult of the Lamb. They added some new buildings. They also added some new things that you're going to gather, like some lore and then the sins. In order to, I think, start your sin collecting, you need to go to the church. I'd say that a majority of these trophies are kind of grindy. You need to get your temple to level 10. You need to collect all the outfits and special outfits, excluding the DLC ones. You don't need to get the DLC ones. But you have to do like certain things to get the outfits. You also need to have 12 disciples, which in order to be a disciple, your villagers need to be level 10. And you have to hatch 5 eggs. And you have to collect all the lore, which is like RNG every time you go to a area, well, a dungeon or a run in the open world. Well, not the open world, what am I talking about? The, like Darkwood and all that. I just went to Darkwood and listed mine because it's just the easiest and I could run through it in like 5 minutes. The first trophy that we are going to work on is called Regenerator, which is we need to help Sozo, the crazy mushroom man. And isn't it crazy that the developers just made a sex update just because of some post on Twitter or X or whatever the hell you want to call it? But to start this quest, we just need to go there and grab that mushroom, and then we need to go plant the seed of Sozo. So obviously we're going to have to plant the seed of Sozo, grow him up, and dig him out of the ground after he's a big boy now. That felt weird saying. Anyway, back to planting. I love the fact that he becomes one of your villagers, or your cult members, I should say. I also love, like, Leshy and Hecate and the one who waits, or the one who won't be named Harry Potter, whatever the hell. I love that. I just love that they become, like, your little cult members. But he'll ask you for mushrooms, you give him the mushrooms, and then he's going to ask you to save mushrooms out in Onora. Because if there's one thing we know about Sozo, it's that he loves those freaking mushrooms. Anyway, we need to save them and bring it to him. I love the little mushroom villagers. I think he looks so cool. And also during this, if you have a demon assist you in battle, I'm trying to remember what kind. It's that one, like the little heart. Once he hits somebody, you're going to unlock the acquired knight armor. These are, like I said, there's some that you have to do special things for. We'll go more over them when I get there. But there we go. We save him and we bring him back to camp. After watching back the footage, I kind of now realized that I could get Sozo to level up quite a bit if I would have just kept getting him these mushrooms. Because look at him, he's level 3 now. So I guess that could have been an easier way to grind out the Disciple Achievement 2, or Trophy, I should say. But you'll bring him in there, and then Sozo can't help but resist him, and he devours him. Now, so after he eats the first one, he's going to ask you to get him more. I wish I would have known ahead of time that if you just keep accepting the quest, he's just going to keep eating them. So once you deny it, he loses his shit and he tells you, hey man, you need to help me out. What the heck? He needs the mushrooms. So he's going to start to go all crazy. All you have to do is re-educate him a few times, and after you re-educate him, the trophy is yours. Alright, and the next trophy that we're going to go for is hatching 5 eggs. So you have to build this tent and a place to set the eggs. It'll give you a probability chance on who you pick, which this is actually kind of a cool system because you can pick 2 traits of each village, or I don't want to say village, of the 2 cult members, and you can pick which traits that are most desirable for you. But yeah, they'll be like, some of them too, they'll be like celibate, so they won't do it at all. But as you can see, there's like a 30, there's a 14. If they're friends, that helps out. If they have the new trait, they're like really lustful, that helps out. But yeah, so this is pretty much what the whole update, I think, inspired, was the sex update, which is just so funny that they actually did it. But yeah, look, see here, you can pick their traits. Like, there you go, lustful's one, where they're more willing to, be affectionate, which is, they have a higher chance of making an egg. And I just did the sin one too because I'm trying to farm all that stuff. But yeah, you'll do that. It takes like a couple days for the egg to hatch. But the cool part is you can like interact with the egg to like get it to get faster. You also need 1 sin, but you get the sin back when the baby's born. But every day that you interact with the baby, it gains a level. So by the time that it like starts actually being like a normal cult member, I think it's up to level 5. So you're already halfway to where you need him to be for discipline, which is great. Your villagers will be exhausted after the egg making. But hey, all you gotta do is do that 5 times, and the egg will hatch. And after the egg hatches, you get yourself. Well, you have to hatch 5 eggs, and then after the 5 eggs hatch, you get yourself a trophy. So this one can be kind of grindy if you don't have like a lot of the same villagers you did from the beginning, or if you haven't played like all the DLC, like the one beforehand either, the Relics of the Old Faith. But let's use a level 10, so you just hit the Disciple, but it is 75 bones, so there's materials that you're gonna have to grind for too, because you're gonna need 12 of them. So you need 12 villagers with max amount of, well, to level 10, which some of them, I mean, you could find the ones too where the traits are easier to like level up. I also had a lot of gifts, so I used the gifts to level them up faster. But pretty much all the disciples get is they're in your inner circle and they get a cool halo. So it's kind of cool. But you're gonna need 12 of them. Also, so yeah, I gave them gifts. You could also get them, I'm trying to think of what else you could use. I know gifts, sometimes special food does it. Every time you preach or, give like a sermon, that levels up friendship. Yeah, there's just different stuff you can do, but after 12 of them, you earn yourself another trophy. Kind of grindy. Now, getting your temple to level 10, I thought was the most grindiest, because you need so much sin, you need gold bars, like there's 15 sins just for the last upgrade, that's not including the 9 before that. The best way I found out how to grind sin is honestly the bar, because especially if they have like they gain more sin for like sinful acts, because they'll get a bonus of sin from drinking it. If they get in fights, that's also a bonus to sin. You can also do the drum circle. You're guaranteed 1 sin by doing the drum circle, but that's like on a cooldown. But here's like a clip of me giving them, like, I was at the bar and I just had like a whole bunch of them, and look how quick like it's all upgrading. And before I knew it, I got like 3-4 sins just from that. But if you do the drum circle, be aware that if you do the same person 3 times, the sin, like, I don't know, consumes them, and then when you go into like your runs in Darkwood and stuff, you're gonna have to fight that villager and you will kill them. Which is, I mean, you can just bring them back too with like the, different rituals and stuff that you can perform. So if you were like really attached to that villager, I mean, you could always bring them back, or if they're like a high level and you're trying to get to the disciple one. But yeah, that one I think this one is the grindiest, also the most annoying, just because just getting all that sin is just ridiculous. Oh, that villager died. But also too, that's another thing to look at, like with some of your villagers, if for the disciple one, I know I'm kind of jumping around everywhere. I probably should have wrote a script, but I'm working on it. Another thing with the disciples, you could always look at your older villagers and see what level they were when they died, because some of those villagers could have been a higher level, and you could just resurrect them to use that towards a trophy anyway. But before I ramble on anymore about sin or anything, that's the majority of it. See, I shouldn't have broke up that fight. I should have just let them fight, because if they did, whoever the winner was got a big boast of sin. And like I said, I think the bar is the best way, which I waited towards the end of this anyway. So I had like a bunch of grapes and a bunch of berries that I had already stored up from doing my runs trying to get all the lore. But yeah, so after you get your temple to level 10, you earn yourself another trophy. It just makes your inside of the temple look cooler. Other than that, there's nothing really to do about it. I mean, you can change the aesthetic too inside, which is kind of cool, but that's about it. Alright. So none of the outfits that you need for the trophy you're going to buy from this lady here. You'll just find her on random crusades. You'll get the merchant shirt, the evening frock, the genteel jacket, the scholar shirt, modest robe, sensible dress, grass skirt, night skirt, and picnic attire. Then, however, there are some special condition ones, which you'll have to perform, like, I don't know, certain tasks or whatever. Which I got some of them on I got some recorded, and then other ones kind of just happen randomly, but we'll just go through them so you know how to get them. So, for the naked one, you just have to perform the rite of lust. I think it's 5 times, and you get it. Another one is the ceremonial robes. You just have to have a follower perform 5 confessions. It has to be the same one. And there's the Knight Armor, which we saw earlier, was obtained from the Hathor Demon during a crusade. There's also the Drink Tender Vest. You have to brew 30 drinks at the drink house. That's not too bad. Once you crush 3 eggs, you get the Chef's Jacket. So instead of hatching the eggs, you just crack them. Pretty simple there. The wedding dress plus wedding suit, you just have to perform 3 different wedding rituals. Fancy robes, you have to absolve a follower from sin 5 times. Oh wait, that was what? Maid dress, sweep up 100 poop or vomit messes. The jester costume, just craft 25 outfits. And then the warrior's outfit, you just have to have them fight 3 times in the fight pit. Which, just don't kill them when they're competing in the fight pit. I don't know if it has to be the same one, but I just did the same one. And there's also another one where you have to have the one who waits. You have to do this with him, the drum circle. And it unlocks one of the other special outfits. I think that's all of them. I could be missing some. And if I am, just let me know in the comments and I will try to figure out what it is. But, yes. The fancy robes, that's what it was. Now, the most annoying trophy I believe that they added to the DLC is the lore. So not only do you need to have at least 1 heart piece to offer to get a piece of lore, they're also randomly generated throughout the map. So it could be you go through 5 of these crusades and not even get a piece of lore. However, I did read somewhere on Reddit that if you change your suit or your fleece to the one that starts with the tarot cards, that will reduce one of the chances of the rooms being the tarot guy. So it gives you an additional chance to get a lore. Also, some of the lore are just in special rooms, so I went to as many question marks as possible. Some of them will be like in a graveyard that you'll find. I think you get 3 from the graveyard that you have to dig up. If you missed Haro earlier, he's like the giant bird owl thing. I'm not sure if you've played the game beforehand if you get the lore from him. I didn't get the lore from him. I had to wait for a random meat room to pop up, and once I went to the meat room, which I should have recorded it, but I didn't because I was just kind of grinding it all out and I didn't realize it was gonna have a piece of lore in there, so that's my bad. But another random room you'll find is this guy. Behind his campfire is another piece of lore, which is one of the last ones I needed, which was really annoying because I saw this guy like 3 or 4 times beforehand and didn't realize that he had lore behind his fire, so that was annoying. Also, he's a great way to level up your villagers as well, for the disciples. So I mean, there's plenty of like different grinding techniques for that. Anyway, we're talking about the lore. So yeah, I'd use that fleece that you start off with 4 tarot cards, sometimes 2. The tarot card you get will be the one that reveals the map, so you can instantly see if there's going to be one of the lore, so you don't have to look for the because there's like a totem thing that you have to hit, and once you hit that, it opens the way to the secret path. But I'm trying to think what else I did. Also, I noticed too when I was doing the crusades, if I finish one, because you know how like you fight a boss and then you can keep continuing your crusade, almost I think 9 out of 10 times I did that, the next set of rooms or on my crusade, once I started my first set in the new crusade, it was always a lore to that one. So don't just like go in thinking that, you know, in the first room it's hit or miss, because you can keep playing too. And like I said, 9 out of 10 times I did the second crusade, like I continued my crusade after I hit the first mini boss. There was a piece of lore in the next part of that crusade past that boss, and like I said, 9 out of 10 times I got that. So it is grindy, very annoying that there's no way to like know for sure if you're gonna get it, but at least if you have that fleece on, you're taking at least another opportunity for it to be a different room. It's just super annoying and really RNG dependent, but like I said, you know, that's all the advice I got for this. Overall, I think the DLC was pretty good. I don't know. Like, I like Call of the Lamb. I just wish, like, it's missing something. I don't know what it's missing. But, I mean, what can I say? Each DLC that's come out has been free, so I can't complain about that. I've enjoyed it all. This was a fun update. I like the new things that they did to it. I wish that they would have added like more bosses or different like enemy variants or something. I don't know, just to make it more interesting. But hey, Call of the Lamb's a great game. I enjoyed it.
Thank the Lord.
If any of you did make it this far in the video, I didn't even ask you to like or subscribe. So if you did make it this far, I appreciate you. And if you all have a blessed day, be safe, have fun. Let's go. We'll pop our final trophy. Thank you guys so much for watching.